Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a little bit different than what I've done in the past. So far I have given tips and tricks about pageants as well as a pageant review, and I do hope to do many more of those kinds of videos as well. But today I thought I would share a little bit about myself and my experience in the pageant world. So to start with, I've been doing pageants for 15 years now, so a little while. I've been involved in many different pageant systems. My favorite to compete in has been the Cinderella Scholarship Pageant. I love the atmosphere. I love that everyone that competes is like a family. It's just great. So there's a little background in my pageant history, I guess. The main thing I wanted to talk about was my religion and how my religion influences my pageants. So to start with, I am LDS, so I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Many people call us Mormon. So if you know anything about Mormons, you've probably got some stereotypes going on in your head, and you probably think it's a little weird that I do pageants, but I'll give a little bit of explanation, what my struggles have been, what I've been able to learn through my religion with pageants and stuff like that. So, to start off with, I want to talk about modesty. Modesty in the Mormon Church is really important and something that a lot of us really value. Mind you, I am one of those people that I see a rule or a guideline, and to me it's set in stone, and so I'm a goody-goody and I like to follow the rules and stuff like that. So I tend to follow things exactly, and because I choose to, not because I'm forced to. So I want to stress that in this video, what I say I do is not something that all Mormons do, not something that all Mormons have to do. It's simply my opinion, what I like to do, what I feel, and I hope that anyone that's watching this doesn't feel like I'm judging them for something that they do, because I don't want it to feel that way. I just want to be able to share myself with those of you that watch. So, modesty is huge, and we have been given, when I say we, I mean members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, have been given guidelines on how to dress and what our modesty standards should be. And I figured the easiest way to let everyone know what those are is just to read it straight from the book we have. So I forgot my book, so I will be right back. Okay, I found it. So this is the book that I'm going to be reading out of. It's called For the Strength of the Youth, and it's a book of guidelines for the youth of our church. So it starts off as the youth read it and the youth try to apply it in their lives, but in my opinion, it applies to all ages. A lot of it is directed specifically towards the youth, like dating and things like that. But a lot of it can be very helpful in everyday life, or at least it has been for me. So I'm going to go right into this page where it says dress and appearance. And these are the guidelines that we as members of the church have been given on what immodest clothing is. So just to quote from this book, immodest clothing is any clothing that is tight, sheer, or revealing in any other manner. Young women should avoid short shorts and short skirts, shirts that do not cover the stomach, and clothing that does not cover the shoulders or is low cut in the front or the back. I'm going to stop there because in most pageants that I have competed in, it's female and I'm a female, so I don't need to read past into the guys. But I'm, again, one of those people that if it's written down, I'm probably going to take it to heart and follow it to the best of my ability. So, based off of that, not wearing short shorts or short skirts can be difficult in a pageant. Shirts that don't cover your stomach. A lot of pageants can be avoided without much of a problem at all. And shirts that do not cover, clothing that does not cover the shoulders or is low cut in the front or the back. That one is a huge challenge a lot of the time. I mean, when you see pageant gowns, I mean, there's gorgeous strapless gowns that come way down in the front and don't have any straps or don't have any sleeves if they do have straps. Or lately the two-piece dresses have been in where it shows the midriff. And I have chosen to not wear any dresses like that. If you go to my pageant dresses video, which I will link in the description below, where I show you a bunch of my pageant dresses, you will be able to see that all of them have sleeves on them. They are all one piece, and they don't come very low in the front or back or anything. Again, this is my choice. I choose to do this. There's nothing that says you absolutely have to follow these rules or you're a terrible person. It's not true. There's a lot of people that choose to wear other kinds of clothing, and that's totally fine. There was another thing, and I don't know where it is, but I can't find it right off the top of my head. But we have also been told and taught to wear clothing that is appropriate for what we're doing. So for sports and things, if you're doing basketball or track, you've got to wear shorter shorts and sleeveless tops. And that's okay, that's what you do. And a lot of people consider a pageant the same kind of activity, which is just fine. I mean, it's a personal thing for all of us. So like I said, this is just what I choose to do, and it's what I like to do. So obviously, it can be a little harder to find clothes for a pageant. Like I said, the Cinderella pageant is my personal favorite to compete in, and we model a casual wear, which is kind of like a dressed up version of what you would wear every day, as well as a formal gown. We do an interview one-on-one with the judges, and we also do a talent. So let's start with casual wear. Lately, back in the day, back when I first started, casual wear was pantsuits. So that used to be really easy for a Mormon girl like me to put on a pantsuit, and I didn't have to worry about whether or not I was going to feel comfortable and be modest. And so it was great. And then a few years ago, things started to get a little more modern, and that made it a lot harder to still dress in current fashion, but still be modest the way that I want to be modest. I realized that Mormon modesty is way extreme compared to the rest of the world and the way other people think of modesty. I'm not saying that you're not modest if you don't dress like me, because I realize that I go to the extreme when it comes to modesty. But again, it's what I choose to do, what I like to do, what I believe in. So finding an outfit for casual wear has been quite challenging. But I have been able to make it work and be fairly successful with it. So this year I had a little white cap sleeve peplum top and some khaki ankle-length pants. And it fit right in with what everyone else was wearing, and it was great. But it usually takes a lot longer and a lot more work to find something that I feel comfortable in and that I want to represent myself wearing. The next one would be gowns. Gowns are a lot more expensive if they have sleeves on them. So what I started doing, and they're a lot harder to find with sleeves, and so I started buying strapless gowns and adding sleeves to them. And it has worked great for me. And for me, because modesty has been so big in my life and is so close to my heart, I like when people, I don't want to say I like when they recognize that I'm being too modest, because that's not what it is, but I like when people respect me and my values, because I don't try to wave it in someone's face. I don't want to do that. But when people can see what I believe by what I wear and how I present myself, I really like that. So, quick story. This video is kind of going long. I'm sorry. One year, I was at the International Cinderella Pageant, and I was the only girl out of close to 50 or 60 girls in my age category. I was the only one that had a dress that completely covered my shoulders. And at first I was like, holy cow, crazy, this is so weird, like, I feel kind of out of place, even though it was me and I chose to do that to my dress. Well, I ended up that year getting, one of the awards I received was Best Dress. And to me, it was kind of, I don't want to get super churchy, but it was a testimony builder for me, because I was the only one in a dress that completely covered my shoulders, and I got recognized for the dress that I was wearing. So that was pretty cool. Let's move on to interview. A lot of times people wear shorter skirts for an interview, or again, a sleeveless dress or whatever. I've just found that I have to usually spend a little more money than other people, which is sad. So I ended up wearing the same dress for multiple years. But I can find a knee-length dress with a cute little cap sleeve or a 3/4 length sleeve that has the same fashion as everybody else, so that one's not a big deal for me. And then talent, for me, I consider talent a sport. At least what I do, I'm a clogger. And so I like to keep my dance costumes somewhat modest. I don't like to show my stomach or have a big open back on them or something like that, but I realize it's a dance costume. I'm going to wear it for 3 minutes and be done. So I get that. One thing really quick before I go, I'm going to mainly talk about modesty today, I guess. I might have to do this more. Is a swimsuit. I have not done a pageant yet with a swimsuit because the pageants that I have signed up to do in the past for the Miss America program have fallen through. So, not yet. I'm hoping this summer that I will get involved in the Miss America program. It just kind of depends on if things work out like they're supposed to. But I have never worn a bikini swimsuit before in my life. So, obviously, I'm not going to feel very comfortable if I end up wearing that on stage at a pageant. So, I have decided that even though it could very possibly hold me back, that if I ever end up in a competition where I have to wear swimwear, that I will wear a one-piece swimsuit. And I actually have my swimsuits that I would wear right now. And to me, even if for some crazy, awesome way I were able to go to Miss America, which has always been a dream of mine, but we'll see, because I'm starting to come to the end of my pageant days. I would wear a one-piece swimsuit in that pageant, and I'm sure that I would get a lot of flack for it. But that's who I am, and that's what I want to do, and nobody is telling me I have to do this by any means. It's just how I feel and what I want to do. So, there's a little bit with the modesty. Again, I want to stress that this is how I choose to take modesty and how I choose to apply modesty in my life. And I realize that me being so conservative and modest in my dress, that it has held me back a little bit in some of my pageant days. Because, like I said, when we do our casual wear, you want to be right up with the trends and everything, and a lot of the trends are not super modest. Like they're either a short romper, which are super cute, and sometimes I kind of want to wear them, but I don't usually because it's just not who I am. And like short rompers or tank tops, and they're cute and they're fun, but it's not something I would ever wear for me. And so it makes it a little more difficult, and sometimes I think it holds me back because I'm not as up to date as some of the other girls that are wearing those things. But to me, me holding my standards as high as I feel they should be for me is something that really sets me apart, that I honestly don't care if it holds me back because it's what I want to do. So that's a little bit. There are other things that being a Mormon could make it a little bit more difficult in a pageant world, but we'll go into that later because I feel like I've been talking forever. I really want to stress again to any Mormons watching that this is how I feel, this is how I take things. I'm not telling anybody else they're a bad person if they don't do this, because it's not something that's set in stone. It's something that is kind of open to interpretation a little bit. Like I said, I have it written down. We all have it written down. But it's also kind of what you interpret it. So I am a very literal person. I will take it word for word, exactly what it says. And I truly believe that I should be dressing this way for me. So that's how I feel. That's why it's important to me. So I really want to stress that this is how I take things, how I choose to apply things in my life, not what everybody needs to be doing, because everybody lives their own life in their very own way, and that's awesome. And so I don't judge other people for what they wear, and so I don't want other people to judge me for how I feel and what I choose to wear. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you want to see more videos about my religion and how it's influenced my pageanting, let me know in the comments, because I really want to do some more videos, but I also want to do things that you guys are going to enjoy watching. So, also, don't forget to hit the button down below and subscribe to my channel, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you didn't like it, don't give me a thumbs down, because that's just kind of mean. So if you didn't like it, just don't thumbs up it. And comment what you like. I will put a link to this pamphlet online in the description, as well as to my pageant dresses video and my blog, so go check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.